Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So part two of the Z28 side exit exhaust build. I've got some 2.5 mild steel. If you saw the last video, we've got the ball joint here on the end to connect to the long tube headers. I ran an initial bead. I'm just using a flux core, so it looks kind of crappy, but I'll put an initial bead here. I'll go back over and finish weld it, give it a grind. What I've got now is I bought a pair of cats off of Amazon, and what I'm going to do is run them in here. So I've got them spaced. I'm going to try and make one side as a template, and I'll make the other side to match it once I get the final measurements and everything. But I've gone back basically about 6 inches after the start of the mid pipe and marked it. So I took a paint pen, you can kind of see right there, and I marked it all the way around and ran a strip of tape so I can make a pretty even cut. I don't have a chop saw, so I'm going to have to reuse my angle grinder like so. But what I've done is I've measured from here to here. This is exactly 11 inches. This is the exact length of this cat. And you might think, oh, well, there's about 1 inch on each end for it to slip fit. Yes, this is true. But I wanted to actually take about 1 inch off of the overall length of the pipe. When I had it lined up and or mocked up on the car, it was actually a little bit too close to that rear wheel. So I'm gonna try and bring it in about 1 inch. So what I'll do, there's Tilly. Hey, baby. Hey, good girl. Hey, Tilly boo. Good girl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it exactly to the length of this, and this way when it does slip fit, we'll lose about maybe 3/4 inch on this side and 3/4 inch on the other side, totaling about 1.5 inches, which will bring this 1.5 inches forward to about where I want it to be. So that's the plan. What I'm going to do next is just do the cuts, slip fit it. I'm going to live dangerously, and I'm not going to test fit it once I slip fit this on. I'm actually going to do an initial tack weld on either side and then remount it on the car. What I'll do is once I've got this in place, I'll show you that, and then I'll show you again when it's in place in the car so you can get an idea of the kind of final placement of it there. So yeah, let's go ahead and do some cutting. All right, there we go. Easier said than done, by the way. So here's the 11-inch piece that I cut out of there. Pretty, I think a pretty straight cut. Not great, but I squared it off as much as I could. After I cut the main pipe, I actually went back with the angle grinder and tried to grind off the ends, so it was nice square ends. Because it's a slip fit, the squareness of the ends doesn't really matter as much because I'm not doing a butt weld where it's got to be flush like so. So on this end, I've got this pipe leading in about a full inch, maybe 1.5 inches, this part here. So it'll bring the exhaust, it'll shorten the exhaust how I wanted it to. On this side here, I've got it in about there-ish, about 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4. So it's going to pull the whole exhaust tip section up about 2 inches, 2.5 inches like that. So further, when I say up, further towards the front of the car, which is where I wanted it because it was almost touching the rear wheel. I want it to kind of follow that curve there. You see that body line that goes up and over the rear wheel arch? I want it to come out right in there. So this should put it there. Some things to note. I don't know why you would want to do this yourself, but if you're using this as some sort of guide, I actually have the O2 sensor here. It's on obviously the back side of the cat. So right after the cat. What I want to point out though is I've got the tip in a position basically where the tip faces down. It's about 180 degrees out from where the bung faces. And the reason for this is because when it's on the car with the tilt that I'm going to have it at, that will make this point almost flat, if slightly up away from the ground. So it should be very accessible should I want to run O2 sensors later on or check the AFR or whatever, right? So yeah, anyway, so that's what it looks like for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run tack welds here and here to get this solid, and then I'll place it back under the car so you can see it all mocked up. If that looks good, I'll pull it back off one last time and then just finish weld everything all the way down. And then we'll start to do the placement of the exhaust hanger. I should only need one because, like I said, the long tube ends here. And this is about, we'll call it 5 feet. I want to put one kind of midsection, maybe near the end there. It should be enough. If it comes down to it, I can always do one near the very front and then one near the very back. But anyway, yeah, let's mount it. Okay, so back in place. And you'll notice, I don't know if you remember from the last video, but you can make a comparison. Now it actually does terminate, the tip right there terminates quite a bit further in front of the rear wheel, which is actually what I wanted, as I was saying when I cut down the pipe to put the cat in. So you'll notice it's moved forward. It's actually hanging a little bit lower than it will in final position. I'm just trying to I've got a couple of boxes holding it in place right now as I mock it up. And then if I come over here, hopefully you can see it. So it actually follows the line of the frame. So there's the, not a full frame vehicle, but you can see there, right? So there's the cat in line like that. It only hangs down a little bit further than the lowest part of the car. So it is actually now the lowest part of the car, but not by much. It's kind of deceptive, this angle. But yeah, just follows along like so. It bends and then out it goes right there. And the final tip placement I'm gonna work on a little bit too. I might bring it a little bit further out, as in more in line with the car, but once I get the final welds and all the shrinkage done on this here, obviously, because as you put more welds in, the metal will shrink a little bit. But as soon as I get that finally placed, I'll do the final placement for the tip. So, but I'm pleased, man. I like the way it's turned out. I will probably run a exhaust hanger there and another one just here in front of the cat, right there. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably do a third video just to have this fully done so you guys can hear it. What I plan to do is, once this side is done, just take the same materials and the same measurements and duplicate it for the passenger side. So yeah, once I get both of those in place, I'll do a third video and kind of show you how it all comes together and then how it sounds. So as always, thanks for following, and you know, smash that like and subscribe button. My channel's not monetized, but you know, it's always a affirmation when you do this kind of work. So anyway, have a good day. See you next time.